Welcome to Weight Loss Practice Builder, the podcast created for busy weight loss practitioners and their teams who want to systematize, simplify, and accelerate the growth of their new or existing weight loss practice. I'm your host, Carol Clark, and today we're talking about, of course, an important topic, but it is the difference between external conversions and internal conversions and what may be going on in terms of your practice for why you're not getting new patients through the door or on your schedule. So both of these come into play. They're both very, very important. But the difference is an external conversion is what gets somebody who is out there searching or is a perfect candidate for what you offer, and what gets them to notice you, to find you, and to then make an inquiry. An internal conversion, on the other hand, is once they make that connection, whether it was through email, a form on your website, your chatbot, whether it was a phone call to your office, a referral from a friend, no matter how it came through, once that comes through, it's how do they then become a established patient with you. And that's the difference between external versus internal. We can think about it like this. An external conversion is like those pitches that come into somebody who's at bat. And so it's the pitch that comes through. And we can get a lot of perfect pitches, but unless we can hit it so that we can get a home run, we can at least start getting them on base, it doesn't really make much of a difference. You've got to have both that external pitch, that great pitch coming in, and the internal conversion, getting them on base or a home run right from the get-go. So what contributes to this? The external conversions are really those things that are going on in your practice to attract them, of course. And there's 8 different ones I'm going to briefly talk about and then get into the internal conversion and what can sometimes be a barrier to people moving forward with your practice. So in order to get those pitches, in order to get those new leads into your practice, it takes a number of things. The first thing is basically targeted marketing strategies. So it involves strategies that are actually going to attract the people that you want to work with the most. That means that you have to understand who it is you want to attract, what are their biggest pain points, what is it that they want the most, and where are they usually hanging out, online or in your community. So we need to know who we want to attract. So that targeted market is really important to identify, and then setting into place strategies to go where they are, to have the right message then in front of them to help them convert and make that reach out to your practice in order to work with you. So targeted marketing strategies is one part of the external conversion process. The next thing is compelling content. So we live in an environment where people are bombarded with messages all the time. We've got to get their attention. We've got to have compelling information and reasons for them to reach out to you. So we have to test that out. It can be in the form of video, in the form of written, in the form of audio. What is it that's going to attract them? Is it going to be an ad driving down the interstate? Is it going to be a print ad? Is it going to be a postcard? A lot of those things have somewhat changed dramatically in the way we market today. I like to try low or no cost methods that still attract the ideal client. That's called organic marketing. Or you may employ somebody outside your team to do some of these strategies and to attract them from a paid marketing perspective. So that compelling content is what gets their attention and gets them to reach out to you then. The third external conversion point is community relationships, making sure that you are known in the community for the expert that you are, and that your practice is known for the results that patients are getting and for how concierge or how responsive you are. So we want to make sure that you have a great community presence. This comes through some of your presentations you may make, some of your community involvement, how you're giving back to the community, being interviewed on local media, that sort of thing. But community relationships are very important as well. It also relates to your relationship with referring physicians and referring businesses that serve the same clientele that you do. The fourth one is SEO and online visibility. This is another thing that is accomplished through both organic and paid advertising, and definitely through your website, making sure that you know what people are searching for and that you have those keywords on all of your different organic and your website. So any of your efforts have to include that. So SEO is something that's also very important so people can find you. And we do that in lots of different ways, and I know I cover many different times. The fifth thing is maybe free workshops or seminars. This can be a lot of work for a short haul, But we want to make sure that you are being seen out there. So it may be a free webinar, a webinar that you have on your website that helps introduce people to the products and services that you offer. But that's another great way to get that pitch, get these people coming in through your door. The sixth one is patient testimonials and reviews. So important. We've talked about this a lot. We want to ask for their testimonial and make sure that they do a review right while they're there in your office and super happy. I work with practices. They are so good at this, that the more you do it, the more adept you are at just getting them to make that review right then, to make sure that you get a quick video while they're in the office, get those pictures, and we can get them posted online. So making sure they have those patient testimonials and reviews is another external way to get people to get those pitches into your practice. And then consistent branding on everything you do, whether it's a flyer, your website, any post that you do, make sure it's consistent with your logo, with the colors that you use for your brand, making sure that it's all there for them. And then the eighth one is data analysis and optimization. Oh, data analysis. I love data, but there's so much to look at. We've got to be tracking every single month where your leads are coming from, what's being most effective. We used to do split testing. Now there's sprint testing. There's AI involvement. We want to make sure we have all those pieces in place so that you are actually taking a look at your data, analyzing it, and optimizing what's working the best. So those are 8 external conversion factors that you need to be aware of. Now, from an internal perspective, I'm going to talk basically about 5 of them. And you probably know what these are because you know what it's like when you go to another practice or another business and what will help you convert to becoming a paying client of theirs or paying customer and what keeps you there. It's the same thing for practices, believe it or not. But it really is that effective communication from the moment that they call your practice, that they know that it's effective. People are listening to their needs. They understand what it is that they want. They're helping to facilitate that appointment, getting scheduled, answering their questions, that sort of thing. So effective communication is the first internal conversion method. You may have someone at the front desk who doesn't have that great of communication, and maybe they're a barrier to people moving forward and you don't even realize it. So that's why we also sometimes record conversations and we listen to what people are saying and we train them really well. Use those as learning opportunities. The next thing is the quality of your care, the quality of your service. Is it something that people are getting results from? Do they feel a connection? Do they feel as if you are giving them all the tools in the toolbox that they need in order to succeed, not only in the short term, but in the long term, even though we all know they're most concerned about the short term. So that quality of care is really important. Also, having that patient engagement. When they walk in, they're engaged with your team. They know that they matter. They know that people recognize them, that you remember the important things in their life. You can do that in lots of different simple ways in the chart to help, keep you adept at remembering what's going on in their life. So we want to make sure that they feel very engaged. You can also do this through your e-newsletters, through text messages, so many different ways to do that, but they need to feel engaged. So that's the third one. The fourth one is your education. You might not think this is that important, but it is a great way to help when they see that you have all these support for them in terms of education and support group and lots of resources for them. It helps them believe this is the place I need to go because no matter what my barrier is, they've got something that can help me get through that, whether it's the one-on-one communication, but also all those resources that you have that are available in a convenient membership site or an app that you have. That really helps as well from that internal conversion because you can showcase that. And you can showcase why you're maybe not the cheapest game in town or why it's worth coming to your practice over another one, even driving those extra few miles, all that sort of thing. So that's another thing. And also focusing on the convenience of how you deliver that. And then lastly, for an internal conversion is making sure that you do have a referral program or an ambassador program, a way for them to share their success and to bring more people into your practice. That's an internal conversion because they know, like, and trust you, and they are more likely to bring new people into your practice. So I know this was a little longer than usual, but it's so important to talk about the external versus internal conversion. And we just focus on one thing at a time. It's not meant to overwhelm you. It's meant to provide the information so you can see, where am I doing really good? Where am I perhaps not doing so good? Where can I be showing improvement? How can I involve my team? Where do we go moving forward, especially in any planning process that you have? And until the next time that we talk or you reach out to me or if you're part of membership, that would be great. I will talk to you soon. And I hope this has been helpful. In the meantime, take care.